Hey guys, I want to talk to you in today's video about developing mental toughness. There was sort of a level up for me that occurred years ago, perhaps when I sort of was revisiting the philosophy of Stoicism, and that is that we can learn to transmute negativity in our lives or transmute adversity in our lives into some of our biggest wins that we'll ever have. So adversity is something that comes to you, and you have to learn how to use it as a stepping stone when that happens. But there's another level up, or another thing to consider when it comes to this as well, which is if life is going pretty smoothly for you and you're generally a pretty positive person, what should you do then? Do you need to seek out adversity? Well, I think yes, but in a healthy sense, in a constructive sense. If life is going good for you, obviously you don't want to wish for some horrible thing to happen to you or to people you know that will make life difficult so that you can use that as an opportunity to work on yourself and improve yourself. No, that's kind of like psychotic or crazy. What I'm suggesting is that you choose some healthy or constructive forms of adversity to add into your daily life so that you can weather yourself, so that you can be ready for when life throws some tremendous challenges at you, which, they're coming for us all. Nobody can really escape those things. They happen sooner or later, and they usually happen many times and multiple times. So what are some examples of healthy or constructive adversity that you could try? One is to wake up early. Another is to exercise. Another is to follow a diet. I mean, these are all things that people hate to do because they're difficult, they're uncomfortable, they're like a form of torture that we force ourselves to go through. I think that's actually a good thing, especially if your life is generally pretty cozy and comfortable. You got a full-time job, you've got a roof over your head, you've got a car, you've got all these wonderful devices, you've got perhaps high-speed internet, you can eat pretty much anything you want, whenever you want. Well, all those things are going to be making you weak because you're just going to be sort of enjoying the comforts all the time. And then how are you going to handle something truly difficult when it comes? So try an early wake up, try daily exercise, try following a diet plan, which, an average diet plan that's out there, you're probably still going to be eating more than millions and millions of people all across the world. So just call that, look at your diet that way. You could get into maybe taking cold showers or swimming in cold water. I have found swimming in cold water to be an amazing form of developing mental toughness, because at first it's so uncomfortable you can barely stand it for a few minutes, but once you get used to it, your body actually adapts and you start to desire that feeling of the cold water, which other people can't stand. So that's a great one. Another one is kind of to look at this in an opposite sense, in terms of things that we should give up. Giving up things that you love, which are actually not really serving you in a very meaningful sense, can help you to develop mental toughness. I'm talking about things like drinking or smoking or doing drugs, or or maybe like just take a weird example like maybe chocolate, candy, sodas. Think about how many sort of pleasures you engage in on a daily basis that they're just a way that you're using to sort of they're not a very good way for you, but you're using them as a way to sort of de-stress, relax. It's just a form of pleasure, when you could be learning to use exercise or dieting or cold water therapies, stuff like that, as a way to de-stress, and even as a way to enjoy your life once you get into it. Because those sorts of difficult habits, as Robin Sharma, the motivational speaker, would say, they're unbearable in the beginning, they're uncomfortable in the middle, they're unstoppable at the end. These are the 3 stages you go through. So these habits, they sound so difficult and they do weather you, but you can become addicted to them. You can become addicted to these difficult things, which are also positive, and they're going to be building you up over time. Now, I want to give you a totally different example from my own life. and that has to do with my family life. I feel that the family that I have now, I'm married and I have 2 little kids, it's the result of my willingness to explore myself internally and develop my mental toughness. I can only generate family and take my family so far in this world as I have traveled internally myself, and that's what I believe. And I believe I still have a long way to go. You know, the the best that I can see the best that I can see in them, I feel like, is because I've developed myself to at least that level. And then problems that I see in them or with them or between us, I see that as where I'm failing. So if I can get better in terms of my mental toughness and my leadership and address my weaknesses, that's going to raise the whole team up. My wife and I have been together for a very long time now. We've been married for 5 years, but we were dating for many, many years before that. And we've had to go through many difficulties, many challenges, because just think about 2 people in a committed relationship. You have to have a certain level of patience, ability to communicate, to work through your problems, to forgive, to apologize, to sort of make an action plan so you can do better next time. That's difficult enough when the people are from the same country, speaking the same language. My wife and I are from 2 completely different backgrounds. Very, very different. I think it'd be hard to find 2 people who come from an even more different background than she and I do. So to me, it indicates that we already had a certain level of mental resilience and toughness before we even met each other, and we were willing to keep working on that and grow that so it could reap us even better results and generate even more meaning in our lives. I haven't been back home to the States in 5 years, mainly due to COVID, higher plane ticket prices, messed up flight routes, and also I decided to start to generate my family during those years of COVID-19, which takes a tremendous input of energy and a massive lack of sleep. So I haven't been home for about 5 years. That has increased my mental toughness. I haven't been able to go home to visit. I haven't been able to travel freely. But I learned when you can't travel externally freely, you can always learn to travel internally, and you should take that as your opportunity to travel internally. So I've been mainly traveling internally for the past several years, developing my toughness and my resilience. And that has brought my life to a higher level of meaning than I ever had before, that I ever could imagine before. So, to sum up, I want to share a saying that if you try to live life easy, your life's going to be very, very hard. And if you try to live life hard, life is going to be very, very easy. Some people are trying to avoid doing difficult things so that they feel they enjoy life more and they feel they're more comfortable. That is sort of like taking out a loan, or it's sort of like borrowing from your future. You're going to have to pay that back eventually. All that time that you were just enjoying and not building yourself up, it's going to come to hit you later. Whereas if you choose difficult things to do now and build up your mental toughness, then you can there's that steady state of progression, that incremental progress that hopefully fortifies you against challenges and tragedies. Obviously, you're still going to have your downtimes, but you can keep steadily moving up, making progress, and becoming someone who's more and more capable of serving others and helping others as they age, rather than being more and more the person who needs help as they age. Someone who can't serve, someone who doesn't have wisdom to share, someone who hasn't spent time reflecting on their life and weathering themselves. So I hope this can help you. Try to develop your mental toughness a lot. It's kind of like a core skill or a meta skill that everything else is going to relate to. Let me know how you're doing with that down below. What are your struggles? What are your successes with this? And I wish you best of luck in the weeks and months ahead. I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.